Right, welcome back, 6th grade. So we are working on writing inequalities and graphing inequalities, which you saw in the lesson yesterday. I'm just going to be going over a couple practice problems to start off. So first, we are just going to practice writing inequalities. So let me get my marker ready. Okay, so our first problem here we have is the movie will be no more than 90 minutes in length. So first thing I want you to do is underline the important words here. The really key words are going to tell us what is going on here. So it says the movie will be no more than, that's a dead giveaway as to what the inequality is going to look like. But first, we have to define a variable. So since we're talking about a movie, I'm just going to put m equals movie length. Okay, so we know that's what our variable means. Make sure you're defining your variable each time so that we know what you're talking about. All right, so since it says no more than, so we know that this number cannot be more than 90 minutes. Right, because it says no more than, so it cannot be longer than 90 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a less than sign there. And since it can be no more than, that means it could be 90 minutes, but it cannot exceed 90 minutes. So I'm going to put a line under here to show that this is a less than or equal. Right, and when you're writing out inequalities, you want to make sure your variable is always right here on the left side, and your number that they give you is going to be over here. Right, so our next problem says the mountain is at least 986 feet tall. So first things first, underline your important words, at least. That is going to show us exactly what sign we need to use. Okay, before we move on, we need to pick a variable to represent the less amount of the mountain's height. So you can pick any variable you want. I'm just going to pick f for mountain height. It could be any number. Any letter can be your variable. But I'm going to use f just because it says feet tall right there. So when we're looking at a problem that says at least, that means that 968 is the smallest amount it could possibly be. But the mountain is going to be taller than that. So I'm going to write out down here. Don't know what happened there, but ignore that. F, and then I'm going to put 986 here. So we know that F has to be larger than 986. So I'm going to go ahead and put our inequality towards that side. And then second thing we need to go over just is 986 included in this? And I'm going to say yes, just because 986 is the smallest possible amount that the mountain could be. So I'm going to put an equal, or the line under there to show that it's equal. So now our equation reads f is greater than or equal to 986. So whenever you see something that says at least, this is your trigger for a greater than or equal to sign. Alright, so next one it says you cannot spend more than $50. So I'm going to have you guys finish this one on your own, but I'm going to kind of walk you through the beginning parts. So it says more than, also this is a pretty important word here, cannot. Okay, let's pick out a variable to represent that. So I'm just going to use D equals dollars. You can spend. So your parent gives you $50. You go to the store. Think about it. Can you spend more than $50? Can you spend exactly $50? Write your inequality. What's going to go in the middle here? so you should have it done by now. If not, go ahead and pause it. So D is the dollars that we cannot spend. So that means you can't spend more than $50. So I'm going to make this a less than sign because you must spend less than $50. But you can also spend $50. So since you can spend exactly $50, I'm going to put the line under here to show that it's less than or equal to. So think about it. If you were at the store, you had $50. You saw something for $40. You can buy that. If you saw something for $50, not thinking about tax, just saw something for $50, you'd be able to buy it. Okay, one more quick example, and we will move on to graphing on a number line. So I want you to pause this video and work on this problem right here. Don't forget to underline your important words, define your variable, and then write out your inequality. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so you should be done with this problem right now. If you are not, keep pausing the video and keep working on it. Okay, so I drove for less than 30 minutes. So I'm going to underline less than, those are our keywords there. I have to define my variable. I'm going to say D equals amount driven. Okay, so I'm going to say D, and I'm going to put my 30 over here. So now I got to think less than 30 minutes. So I didn't make it quite 30 minutes. So it's got to be less than that. So that means the amount I drove is less than 30. Now we have to think, is the 30 included or not? And on this one, I'm going to say no because I did not reach that 30-minute mark. I might have driven 29 minutes, 25 minutes, but however, I never made it to that 30-minute mark. So it's just D is less than 30. Okay, so now we are graphing our inequality on a number line. So what we have here is A is less than or equal to 6. Okay, so first just graph 6 on a number line. So I'm just going to put 6 right in the middle here. 6, put 5, 4, 7, 8, 9. You don't need to keep going. That is good enough. We can see it on the number line. Okay, so let's look at our symbols here. We have less than and equal to. We have a less than or equal to sign. So first things first is you want to draw a circle where the 6 is at. Now the circle is either going to be left open, just like how I drew it right here, or you're going to shade it in. If you are shading it in, that means 6 is included, or we are showing having this line here. So since we have this line underneath our inequality, we are just going to shade that circle in to show that it is included. Now, we know that our 6 is included. So now we got to worry about the less than sign. How are we going to graph this? Okay, so we know it's any number, A equals any number that is below 6. Okay, so that's going to go left of our number line. So you can kind of just shade it like this just to show that you are going this way on the number line and kind of draw that arrow over that. The arrow just means it keeps extending to the left. It just keeps on going. One quick tip I want to give you is if you look right here at your inequality, you may notice that the arrow is pointing this way to the left. Therefore, you can always use that as a little tip as to which way you should shade it, because your inequality, the point, like the point of an arrow, the tip of an arrow, is pointing to the left. That way, your drawing should go to the left. Alright, now we have B is greater than 4. So, first things first you want to do is just create your number line. So I'm just going to put 4 right here. Since I'm going to the left, our numbers are going to get smaller. 3, 2, 1. And then if we go to the right of 4, our numbers are going to increase. So 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now looking at here, so first we have to just draw a circle where 4 is. Now whether we keep that circle open or closed is determined as if it is included or not. So looking here, it does not show that our 4 is included, aka there is no equal to or a line under it. So we're just going to keep that open, just like that. If we had this over here, then we would shade it in. But because there is no line under there indicating that it's equal to, then we do not have to shade in our circle. Okay, so now it says b is greater than 4. So any number greater than 4 would work here. So we're just going to shade to the right. Okay, also again, if you look at our inequality here, if you were to look at it like an arrow, it is pointing towards the right side, therefore you know that you can shade it to the right. Alright, go ahead and work on this one by yourself, and go. Pause it. Okay, if this video is unpaused, that means that you have the problem done. If not, pause it again, keep working. I'm just going to talk through this pretty fast. So I'm going to grab 7, 6, 5, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we draw our circle where the 7 is. Now we look here. Is it including 7? As you can see, indicated by this lovely line under our greater than sign. It would indicate that it is included, so we are just going to shade that bad boy in. And we're going to look, and it says a is greater than 7, so it's any number larger than 7. Also, you can just look right here, and this is pointing to the right. So we're going to shade that in. And there you go. All done. Okay, please work on the page that is in independent practice. There's about 8 problems on it. Okay, never mind. I'm going to reduce it to 7. Yeah, we'll do 7 problems. Okay, so go ahead and look on there for that, and let me know if you have any questions.